Okay, so now we go to chapter number 8, which is about application of integrals. Integrals has several applications. In this chapter we just find one application, that is using integrals or integration. We find area under area, we find area under a function. Function means curve. This is what we want to do in this chapter. We just get the area of certain region which is bounded by some function. Okay, so what it says, let's see this. Let's consider two coordinate axes here, x-axis and y-axis. Let's take this as a function here. This is a function y equals to fx. Let's consider this vertical line. You know, equation of vertical line is given by x equals to constant. For example, this is 2 and x equals to another constant, say b here. So if I just observe this much region, if I observe this, this is nothing but the region that's bounded by function fx, between line x equals to a, x equals to b and x-axis. So I'll write the line like this: area of the region bounded by y equals to fx, that's a function, here with x-axis, and between these two lines and lines x equals to a and x equals to b is given by, remember, I repeat, see here, these all terminologies are important here. What is this? This is nothing but the area of the region here, area of the region bounded by the function y is equal to fx. Then at the lower part with the axis, here we have taken x-axis, and between two lines, which two lines? X equals to a and x equals to b, remember. So area of the region bounded by this and this is given by a equals to, we put inside the modulus I, because that I may be negative here, remember, because I would be an integral, where I is given by integral from a to b, so here ab, with x-axis, so here we write dx. If it is about y-axis, we will write dy, and the function fx here. Fx means y, so sometimes you can write y dx, remember, y dx, like this. Here expression of x, okay, y dx. Okay, now in the same way, let's just, before I go to the similar thing, integral starts from a, ends over b. When you write dx means it's around x-axis, so here dx, and here function means you know y, so y dx, a to b y dx. This integral might be negative, so we put the modulus, so we'll get the required area here. If you have around y-axis like this, if I show here, suppose function may be around y-axis like this. This is the function, for example. Here I have horizontal line, you know, y equals to c, another horizontal line, y equals to d. Now we have limits about y-axis, remember. This is the region here. This is the region. You want the area of this region, remember. This is around which axis? You can see that it is around y-axis here. Remember, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. So here the area of the shaded region, which is a equals to modulus of I, where I equals to integral starts at c, it ends over d. When you are doing about y-axis, you need to write dy here. And when you write the dy, you must have function of y here, remember. So you can write g of y. So you need to get the x from the function. So c2d x dy, remember. x dy, that means function यहाँ पे आपके पास y equals to fx है, तो आप इसमें से x निकालो and put here, तो आपका एक्सप्रेशन y में हो जाएगा. वहाँ पे आप क्या कर रहे थे? From there you were finding y, so it was in x. So y dx, yeah, x dy. These are the two expressions. This is about y-axis. I wrote dy. Limits from where to where? C to do. So C to d. Okay. And यहाँ पे जो expression होगा वो y का होगा, because यहाँ पे dy है. यहाँ पे जो expression होगा वो x का होगा, तो dx है. Like this. मैं आपको I'll just illustrate both the things by an example. Suppose I have this function. फंक्शन आपको ये दिया है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल y इक्वल्स टू एक्स स्क्वायर. अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ अराउंड एक्स एक्सिस dx, सो मेरे लिए y dx हो गया. सो गेट y फ्रॉम दिस विच इज एक्स स्क्वायर dx. फाइन, दिस इज योर fx. अगर मैं यहाँ पे अराउंड y एक्सिस कर रहा हूँ dy, सपोज आई एम डूइंग अराउंड y एक्सिस, तो मेरे लिए यहाँ पे x dy होगा. तो यू गेट x फ्रॉम दिस. What is x from this, which is nothing but the root y dy, that way. I hope this is clear to you. I assume that this is positive. Actually plus or minus root आना चाहिए, but I assume that x is positive. So मैंने खाली root y dy लिखा, remember. Clear? When I write the dx, I need to get the y from the function y dx. What is y? X square. When I write the dy, I need to get the x from the function. So what is x from this? That's root y dy. dy लिखो तो बाजू में y का एक्सप्रेशन मिलना चाहिए, तो आपको x को सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द फॉर्मूला बनाना पड़ेगा. आप dx लिख रहे हैं तो y dx फॉर्मूला होगी, तो आपको किसका एक्सप्रेशन चाहिए? x का. तो आप यहाँ से y को सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द फॉर्मूला बना दो. तो दिस कैन बी इंटीग्रेटेड नाउ वेरी इजीली. दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. दैट इज वन पार्ट. Okay, the another part is here, third one. There you may have, let me do next one, third thing, that is like this. Let's consider these two coordinate axes. Suppose some part of the function is in one half plane, the other part is over here. You see here in both the previous graphs you might have noticed the entire region is on the one side of y-axis. You see, your entire region is on the one side of the x-axis. Here what happens, you suppose I want area from this to this. यहाँ से यहाँ तक का area चाहिए. Okay, I want this area. Let me call this as x equals to a and here x equals to b. I want this much area bounded by this function. A function है. This is y is equal to fx. कोई function का graph है. And this portion, the shaded region, that's the region bounded by the function with x-axis from a to b. Now इसमें क्या हो रहा है? This is not like the previous two graphs. Here some region is in upper half plane, some region is in the lower half plane. So here when function have two different regions in two different half plane, this is upper half plane, this is lower half plane, then in such questions you cannot integrate directly from a to b. What you need to see, the point where it crosses the x-axis. Suppose a point c है मेरे लिए, for example c. Suppose a 1 2 3 है, for example this is 1.5. Okay, so in this case the area of the region, that is a equals to modulus of I1 plus modulus of I2. Individual area find करना पड़ेगा, remember. Where what is I1? That is integral from a to c with dx. फंक्शन की फॉर्मूला तो वही रहेगी, y dx. इतने पोर्शन में बाउंडेड बाय द फंक्शन. And what's I2? That is from where to where? C to b and bounded by the same function. फंक्शन वही है, remember. लिमिट बदल गया, y dx. Got it? That way, when you are doing in two different planes, then you need to be very careful. Remember, अगर मैं directly A to B लिख दूँ तो your final area would be wrong. Remember, suppose इसका एरिया है -2 और इसका एरिया है 3. इफ आई राइट डायरेक्टली तो आंसर ये दोनों का डिफरेंस आ जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं करना है, इंडिविजुअल मॉड्यूलस लेना है. इसका एरिया सेपरेटली निकालना है, ए पोर्शन का एरिया सेपरेटली निकालना है, एंड देन यू आर गोइंग टू ऐड लाइक दिस एज आई एक्सप्लेन. It quite possible you may have like these also. Remember here, for example, you may have 3 different regions like this, here, here, and then like this, for example. So in that case you are going to do individually. पहले ये portion का area निकालो. Suppose this is here, यहाँ पे तो 0 है, 0 लिखो. 0 to let me write A. फिर ये portion का area निकालो, x यहाँ पे b लिखो. फिर ये पोर्शन का एरिया निकालो, एंड देन यू ऐड इंडिविजुअली. रिमेंबर, सपोज ये c है, सो फाइंड एरिया फ्रॉम, सो एरिया हियर, एरिया a, दैट्स मॉड्यूलस ऑफ I1 प्लस मॉड्यूलस ऑफ I2 प्लस मॉड्यूलस ऑफ I3. I1, I2 and I3, and then you add them. What is I1? Integral a to c. What is I2? Integral a to b. And what is this? b to c. हर बार फंक्शन तो एक ही है, तो फंक्शन की फॉर्मूला वही रहेगी, लिमिट बदलने वाली है. रिमेंबर, सो विल गेट द एरिया लाइक दिस. फाइन, दैट्स वन थिंग. वन मोर थिंग हियर, दैट इज you are going to find the area between two curves. So now area between two curves. So let's consider two coordinate axes here. Okay, let me see like this here. These are the two coordinate axes. Let's take this as x-axis and this is just y-axis. Here one function, for example, like this here, and the other function is, for example, like this. Any two functions, remember here. Let me call this as here y equals to, for example, I'll take one function as fx and the other function y equals to gx. Now we want this much. This is the region, area of this region between these two curves. Okay. Now can you see area starts from where? Here. Area starts from here. Where it ends? Over here. Now what is this? These and these are nothing but what? Points of intersection of the given two curves. So when you are asked area between two curves, your first task is, the first what you need to do, get intersection point. Get intersection points. Intersection points by solving equations. That's your first task, by solving equations. When you are asked area between two curves, what you have to do, solve the equations and get their common points. Common points means this and this. So here area starts from this one. Okay, and it ends over here, remember. Okay, let me call this as line x equals to a, x equals to b. Fine. How do we get this a and b? By solving this two. Whenever you have area between two curves, curves means functions, remember, get the intersection points by solving the equations. ये हो गया. Now what we'll do, आप इसको बोल जाओ time being. You see, just have a look on this. If I just look at this shaded region, you just need to recall the first theory. क्या है first theory? Area bounded by the function fx with x-axis from a to b. Right? So ये जो आपको दिख रहा है here, it is integral a to b fx dx, that you know. Area bounded by the function from a to b with x-axis. ओके ये जो मैंने पूरा स्ट्रिप करके बताया वो ना, आपको तो ये पूरे में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, आपको तो मिडल में इंटरेस्ट है. नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू, नाउ कंसंट्रेट हियर this function, and I'll get this much. मैं ये look at it this function, a function पे देखो, forget about the upper part. अब a strip देखो, yellow strip, have a look on this. a क्या है, ये जो डबल स्ट्रिप हो गया, that's area bounded by the second function from a to b, that is a to b second function is gx. फाइन. अब पहले ये पूरा था, अब इतना हुआ, मैं माइनस कर दूँ तो क्या आ गया, बीच वाला आ गया. दिस इज द रिक्वायर्ड रेशन. सो ए आपका आई हो गया. सो इन टर्न यू कैन राइट डायरेक्टली ए टू बी एफ एक्स माइनस जी एक्स. You get this integral. In case if it is negative, put the modulus. So therefore a equals to modulus I, where I is given by, आप ये ड्रॉप कर सकते हैं डायरेक्टली, यू कैन राइट दिस. ये तो जस्ट आई हैव एक्सप्लेन यू फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन. रिमेंबर क्या करना है, वन फंक्शन माइनस द अदर फंक्शन. रिमेंबर दैट्स योर इंटीग्रल. वन फंक्शन माइनस द अदर फंक्शन, दैट्स योर इंटीग्रल. इंटीग्रल ए टू बी. ए बी क्या है, इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट से. रिमेंबर स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम ए एंड जेड बी. इसमें सपोज आपने जी एक्स माइनस एफ एक्स लिख दिया तो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, क्योंकि ये माइनस से डिफर हो जाएगा, बट यहाँ पे तो आपने मॉड्यूलस ही रखा है. वन फंक्शन माइनस द अदर फंक्शन. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू यू व्हाई आई डिड लाइक दिस. पहले हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, ये पूरा एरिया फाइंड कर रहे हैं. रिमेंबर वी आर फाइंडिंग द एंटायर रीजन. मैं वापस यहाँ पे और एक डायग्राम से बता रहा हूँ. लेट्स से दिस, पहले हम लोग ये पूरा ले रहे हैं, दिस मच. So it's integral a to b. Suppose इसको a बोल दो और call this as b. So ये पूरा जो आ रहा है that is integral a to b by the function fx. अब मैं यहाँ से जो बाउंड हो रहा है वो एरिया कर रहा हूँ, a area, this one, right? That is bounded by another function gx. So integral a to b gx dx. अब पहला माइनस इतना शेडेड कर दो तो आपको ये बीच वाला मिल जाएगा. दैट्स व्हाट यू वांटेड. दैट्स कॉल्ड द एरिया बिटवीन टू कर्व्स. सो इन शॉर्ट सिंपली आपको इतना याद रखना है, एफ एक्स माइनस जी एक्स, ए एंड बी आर जस्ट इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट्स. फाइन. ओके, सो लेट मी जस्ट रिकॉल फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग. व्हाट्स द बिगिनिंग ऑफ दिस वन? बाउंडेड बाय द फंक्शन a to b. So you will get this region. So area is given by this integral a to b fx dx. dx लिख रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे x वाला एक्सप्रेशन आना चाहिए. That means फंक्शन में से y निकालो, y dx. If it is about y with y axis, अगर आप y axis के साथ ले रहे हैं, if you are taking about y axis as I've shown here, तो आप यहाँ पे dy लिखेंगे. Then you need to get the x from the function, so x dy, and limits y पे होगी c to d. Fine. Okay, then area, some portion is one half plane, the other portion in the other half plane. Then you need to do individually, get their modulus and you add them. You look at the intersection point. अगर तीन अलग अलग रीजन आ रहे हैं तो तीनों का इंडिविजुअल फाइंड करके मॉड्यूलस लगा के आप ऐड करो. एंड फाइनली एरिया बिटवीन दिस टू, दैट इज वन फंक्शन माइनस द अदर फंक्शन. दिस आर द main points in this chapter. So theory portion is over. Now we go to exercises, but here remember, in every question rough diagram is important, right? Otherwise you cannot understand sometimes, except some standard questions. अगर आप diagram नहीं कर रहे, it means you are memorizing solution and it becomes difficult. Remember, so try to draw the rough diagram. Like parabola, वो सब आपको पता होना चाहिए. Circle, ellipse, that you should know. That's important. But before I start the exercises, I'll discuss the area by a circle. Let's take x square plus y square equals to a square. अगर रेडियस a है तो आपको पता है एरिया ऑफ द सर्कल इज पाई a square. अगर रेडियस r है तो pi r squared. That you know, right? So I'll prove it here. Earlier you have not proved this. We'll do this by integration here. So here the first thing that is, let me write as an example, first example here. Area of the circle you already studied in 11th, conics. This is a standard circle, x square plus y square equals to a square. This is a circle with center at origin and radius equals to a. Answer you know, pi a square. We'll get this by integration. We are doing this by integration. Okay. So, you know this is a circle with center at origin and radius equals to a. So let's consider a circle here with center at origin and radius equals to a. So this is the circle. So here you know radius is a. So 0 to a, you have a comma 0, and here 0 comma a, that you know. This is a comma 0, this is 0 comma a, because radius is a here. Over here, you know value of x is 0 here, origin, and here a goes to 1, remember, a here. Fine. X is a. Now what we do, this is a symmetric curve, you know. Area in each quadrant here it would be same. So what we do, we just find the area in the first quadrant and we multiply with 4. So area, that is a equals to 4 times area in the first quadrant. Area in the first quadrant. Because it's a symmetric curve, area in 4 quadrants, it would be same. So 4 times modulus I, where I is given by integral from where area starts 0, where it ends a, right? You are doing about which axis? X-axis. So I'll write dx, and here I'll write y dx. Right, we are just finding area of the circle in the first quadrant and you just multiply with 4. So you will get this total area of the circle. Now what about the function here? X square plus y square equals to a square. So as I told you, I wrote y dx. So I need to write y from there. Make the y as a subject of the expression there. Right? So you have x square plus y square equals to a square. So y square equals to a square minus x square, and therefore as you can see it is the first quadrant, so you have positive square root only. Normally when you take the square root you have plus or minus, but it is in the first quadrant. So you got the y is this function, so I'm putting there. So here I equals to, therefore I equals to integral 0 to a, what's y? That is root of a square minus x square dx. Fine. Now here this is question reduced to definite integral question. So you just integrate. This is a standard formula, a square minus x square, x by 2 into the same expression. Here you have constant first. So a square by 2 sine inverse x by a. If you have constant first, answer will be in form of sine inverse. Limits are from where to where? 0 to a. Okay. This is simple integration. Now put upper limit, x equals to a. So this will be 0. Plus a square by 2. A. So we'll get cancelled. So this is sine inverse 1, which is pi by 2. Minus, now put 0 here, so this is 0, put 0 here, so this is 0. 0 into something 0, sine inverse 0 is 0. So what you are getting? Pi a square by 4. This is I, remember. And therefore, area equals to 4 times modulus I. This is positive, so 4 will get cancelled. Pi a square by 4. So you will get the pi a square. That is what you had expected. This is the first instance there we are proving the area of some standard curve. Circle का area आपको पता है, pi r square. Here you have proved with the help of integration. This is basically integration, remember. Fine. One more standard curve. Let me write here ellipse here. Let me consider just ellipse here. You know what's the standard equation of the ellipse? X square by a square plus y square by b square equals to 1. There's a standard ellipse, oval shape, remember. Right? We assume that here a is greater than b, our standard ellipse. So it is nothing but, not exactly circle shape, but it's an oval shape like this. How will get this area? You want this total area. So as we did in case of the circle, we just get the area in the first quadrant and we multiply with 4. So area equals to 4 times I. Fine. Now how will get this? Here x equals to 0. आप यहाँ पे जानते हैं coordinates होते हैं a, 0. यहाँ पे आप जानते हैं 0, b. Okay. So limits from where to where? 0 to a. This is about x axis. अगर आप y axis ले रहे हैं तो क्या होगा? 0 to b होगा, but dy आएगा. Remember, it's up to us. So here I will be from x का वैल्यू 0 से कहाँ तक जा रहा है? a तक जा रहा है. मैं अराउंड x एक्सिस ले रहा हूँ तो यहाँ पे dx लिखूँगा एंड देन आई नीड टू राइट y dx. अगर मैं अराउंड y एक्सिस ले रहा हूँ तो 0 to b होगा. यहाँ पे y का वैल्यू b है तो फिर मेरे को dy लिखना पड़ेगा, तो यहाँ पे x लिखेंगे, x dy. तो फिर आपको x को सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन बनाना पड़ेगा. हियर यू नीड टू मेक द y एज अ सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन. नाउ यू कैन फाइंड द y फ्रॉम दिस वेरी इजीली, इंटीग्रेटेड. सो आपको फाइनली एरिया ऑफ द सर्कल एलिप्स पाई ए बी मिलेगा. आई एम नॉट डूइंग दिस, दिस इज जस्ट इंटीग्रेशन. वी हैव सच क्वेश्चंस इन द एक्सरसाइजेज आल्सो, विल डू इट. But what's the area of the ellipse? It is pi AB. Remember, you need to keep this much in your mind for MCQs also. Pi AB. अब a बराबर b ले लो. देखो, if I put a equals to b क्या हो जाएगा? If I take a equals to b, it becomes a circle. तो pi a squared हो जाएगा, right? This you can do by integration, or we have such questions in the exercises. We'll do there. So we go to exercise 8.1. First question, find the area of the region bounded by the curve y squared equals to x. You know that this is a parabola and lines x equals to 1, x equals to 4 in first quadrant. It's clearly written that in first quadrant. Now you should know at least where is the region and where you are finding the area. So I'm just explaining you. What's the rough diagram of this? This is a parabola through origin because 0, 0 satisfy the equation. And you know from 11th standard that which variable is free from the square here? X. So this parabola, that cup shape must be around x-axis. So roughly it would look like this. आपको points लेके draw करने की ज़रूरत नहीं. This is just rough diagram. Passing through origin, variable x is free from the square, so it would be around x-axis. 0, 0 satisfy कर रहा है तो origin में से पास हो रहा है. ये आपको पता है. This is a parabola. How do I come to know this is a parabola? Because there is a square of one variable. So it is this cup shape. Why it is around x-axis? Simply you can remember that here x is free from the square. Remember, अगर y free from होता तो it would be around y-axis, right? अगर आपके पास ऐसा question होता, for example, y equals to x square. So here which variable is free from the square y? So it would be like this, remember. Passing through origin that way. Fine? Okay. Now line x equals to a. X means vertical line. So suppose x is somewhere here. X equals to 1. A1 hai. Where is 4? 4 is somewhere here. Okay. So area starts from here. It ends over here. ये आपका required region है. If this is not given तो lower part भी आ जाता है, remember. So you would have just taken double, remember. But here it is clearly written that it is in the first quadrant. So this is the region. A region का आप area find कर रहे हैं. You should know at least here. That's why I've shown here. Okay, the shaded region. So area equals to here A, that's modulus I. Okay, keep habit of putting modulus. So here I is given by, from where to where, area starts from 1, it ends over 4, it is around x-axis, so I need to put dx. So I'll find y from the function, y dx, that's the formula. Now what is y from the function? इंटीग्रल 1 to 4, y is nothing but what, root x. क्यों मैंने प्लस और माइनस में से खाली ये लिया? Because here y is positive, sorry, yes, y is greater than 0 because you are in first quadrant, so y will be just root x. Fine, now this is clear to you. y dx, क्यों dx लिखा? क्योंकि अराउंड x एक्सिस लिख रहे हैं. अगर एक क्वेश्चन अराउंड y एक्सिस होता तो आई वुड हैव रिटन dy, और मैंने x dy लिखा होगा. y dx x dy, y dx x dy. Now integrate it. So here my work is over. This is simply integration. X raised to 3 by 2, raise the power by 1 upon 3 by 2. So I'll write into 2 by 3 and 1 to 4. Now place the limits. What's the upper limit? 4 raised to 3 by 2. So square root of 4, 2, and then cube 8, and just put 1. So 7. So we'll get the here 14 by 3. That's I. And therefore A equals to, this is probably positive, so 14 by 3. That's your answer. Clear? So rough diagram is expected, remember. Otherwise sometimes you will get confused from where we should start the limits and so on. Okay, let me go to next question. You just need practice, remember, not difficult. Question number 2 here. What's the question? Area of the region bounded by, you know, here this is a parabola. Why parabola? Because you have square of one variable, y square equals to 9x. Between x equals to 2, x equals to 4, and the x-axis. When it is also given in the first quadrant, AB likha hai clearly first quadrant, you may remember. Fine. So here I'll show, every time I'll draw the rough diagram. You must draw as a good student. Now you decide whether you are a good student or not. Yourself see. How do we draw the rough diagram? Which variable is free from square x? Is it passes through origin? Yes. So parabola would be this. This is a parabola. Right? Parabola means cup shape. ये आपको पता है, cup shape. You know it from 11th standard. Okay. Now x equals to 2. 2 is somewhere here, so it starts from here. Where it ends over 4. So here x equals to 4, x equals to 2. Bounded by x-axis in the first quadrant. So इतना portion ही चाहिए आपको. Remember, you need this much portion only. Okay, this much only. Clearly लिखा है. अगर a नहीं लिखा होता तो इसका double हो जाता. तो you would have written 2i. So here area, that is a, equals to modulus of I, where I is given by area starts from 2, where it ends at 4. Where it ends at 4, it is with x-axis, so here I'll write dx. If I write dx, what I need to put? Y dx. So I'll get the y from there, from the function. What is y from there? Actually it is plus or minus 3 root x, remember, but it is in the first quadrant. That's important. So here y is positive. क्यों positive है? क्योंकि first quadrant में है इसलिए. Now integrate it. 3 outside. What's the integral of this? X raised to 1 by 2. Raise the power by 1. 3 by 2 upon 2 by 3. Limits from where to where? 2 to 4. Right? So outside 2. 3 will goes away. Put 4 here. 4 raised to 3 by 2 minus here 2 raised to 3 by 2. Upper limit minus lower limit. So here you will get 8, I suppose. Square root of 4, 2, and then cube 8. What about this? Here root 2 3 times, so 2 root 2. Right? Still, if you want, you can take 2 outside, so it will be 4. Here 4 minus root 2. Right? That's I. And therefore area equals to, this is positive, remember, 4 into 4 minus root 2. This is the required area. Okay, fine. Let's go to next question. Next question क्या है? There also you have parabola. Look at the question. Question number 3, third question. Right. That's also parabola. Parabola is given by which expression here? X square equals to 4y. Right. Now you see here, this is symmetric about y-axis because it is where y is free from, square, and limits are y equals to 2 and y equals to 4. Question में clearly लिख दे about y-axis. ये नहीं लिखा है तो भी आपको about y-axis ही लेना चाहिए. यहाँ पे भी लिखा है first quadrant. Remember, you are doing in the first quadrant only. What's the rough diagram? Let me show you by just rough diagram. Parabola passes through origin. Remember, parabola कहाँ से pass हो रहा है? Origin में से pass हो रहा है. How do I come to know it passes through origin? Because 0, 0 satisfy the equation. So it would look like this. ऐसा दिखेगा parabola आपको. Around y-axis, symmetric around y-axis. Y equals to 2. Y equals to 2 means horizontal line. यहाँ पे 2 होगा. And y equals to 4. This is also horizontal line. So इतना चाहिए आपको. You need just in first quadrant. अगर ये फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट नहीं लिखा होता तो ए भी आ जाता. रिमेंबर, सो ये कुछ नहीं है, इतना फाइंड करके डबल कर दो. अगर मैं एग्जाम में फर्स्ट वर्ड ड्रॉप कर दूँ तो आपका आंसर का डबल हो जाएगा. फाइन. ओके, दिस इज अबाउट वाई एक्सिस. सो एरिया दैट इज ए इक्वल्स टू मॉड्यूलस ऑफ आई, वेयर आई इज गिवन बाय, रिमेंबर यू आर डूइंग अबाउट वाई एक्सिस, सो यहाँ पे आप डी वाई लिखेंगे. राइट, दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, डोंट इग्नोर दिस. अगर मैं यहाँ पे डी वाई लिखूँ तो फॉर्मूला एक्स डी वाई. फॉर्मूला इज एक्स डी वाई. लिमिट्स फ्रॉम वेयर टू वेयर? 2 to 4. इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 2, इट्स एंड्स ओवर हियर. मैं यहाँ पे एक्स लिखूँ तो फंक्शन में से आपको एक्स निकालना पड़ेगा. मेक एक्स एज अ सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन. सो हियर 2 to 4. व्हाट इज एक्स फ्रॉम देयर? दैट इज 2 root y dy. एक्चुअली प्लस और माइनस आता है, बट फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में y इज पॉजिटिव. रिमेंबर, नाउ यू जस्ट इंटीग्रेट इट. सो y raised to 3/2 upon 3/2 and apply the limits. Limits are from 2 to 4. So you will get the final answer. Area equals to the required integral. फाइन. ओके, अगर मैं ये फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट वर्ड हटा दूँ तो ये ए भी आ जाएगा. तो आप बिगिनिंग में 2 कर दो, डबल ऑफ दिस. बाय जस्ट डायग्राम यू कैन सी, तो आपका आंसर का डबल हो जाएगा. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट फोर्थ नंबर. फाइंड द एरिया ऑफ द रीजन बाउंडेड बाय दिस एलिप्स. एक्स स्क्वायर बाय 16, वाई स्क्वायर बाय 9 इक्वल्स टू 1 हियर. So here a square is 16 and b square is 9. So it would look like this. A is bigger than b, remember. So this is oval shape. You know it. What we do? We find the area in the first quadrant and we just multiply with 4. This is 4, 0. And here b is 0, 3. That This is x-axis, that is y-axis. Answer आपको पता है. What's the area of the ellipse? I already explained. Pi AB. So here pi into 3 into 4. So you get 12 pi. That's your answer. The area of the ellipse is 12 pi. 12 pi, remember. That's your answer. Okay, we'll do by integration here. This is just for MCQ. It might be helpful to you. Okay. Now here let me write area. I'll write this area A equals to 4 times area in the first quadrant. Area in the first quadrant. First quadrant. Okay. So 4 times modulus of I, remember, that's area. Where, what about I here? Where I is given by integral from where to where? We are doing about x-axis. So I'll write here dx. आप y-axis भी ले सकते, तो आपको x पे लिमिट लेना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे x 0 है, x कहाँ तक जा रहा है, 4 तक जा रहा है, x बराबर 4. अगर मैं अराउंड y एक्सिस ले रहा हूँ तो 0 to 3 लेना पड़ेगा. So here 0 to 4. If I write dx, I need to put y dx, remember, y dx, x dy, y dx, x dy. Now what I'll do, I'll get the y from the function. मेरे को y function में से निकालना पड़ेगा. That's important. Now as x square by 16 plus y square by 9 equals to 1. We are making y as a subject of the expression. So y square by 9 equals to 1 minus x square by 16. So this is 16 minus x square by 16. This is y square by 9. So here if I take the square root, 9 will go that side and I'm taking square root. 3 by 4 whole square root of 16 minus x square. Once I take the square root, I must have plus or minus, but here y is positive. क्यों? Because आप फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में कर रहे हैं, रिमेंबर. y कौन से क्वाड्रेंट में? फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में है. अब पूरा एरिया फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में निकाल रहा है. सो ये आपका फंक्शन बन गया, रिमेंबर. I repeat this, 9 इस साइड जाएगा, 9 by 16, so it will be 3 by 4 and square root. Actually once you take the square root, you have plus or minus. But why it is positive here? Because you are doing in the first quadrant. Now we place there and we integrate it. So sum is almost over. इतना ही समझना है. अब तो आपका definite integral है. You did it definite integral number of times. So here I equals to 0 to 4, 3 by 4 integral 16 minus x square dx. Now this is not a big task for you, remember. So 0 to 4, what is this? 4 square minus x square dx. Now this is equals to 3 by 4 as it is. How do we integrate this? You know, a square minus x square, x by 2 into the same expression, always plus a square by 2, साइन कांस्टेंट फर्स्ट, इसलिए आंसर आप जानते हैं साइन इनवर्स के फॉर्म में, x बाई a, दैट इज x बाई 4. लिमिट्स आर फ्रॉम वेयर टू वेयर? यू नो, लिमिट्स इज फ्रॉम 0 to 4. ओके, 3 by 4 as it is. We put upper limit first. Put 4 here. So 16 minus 16, 0. Put 4 here. 16 by 2, this is just 8. If I put 4 here, 4 by 4, sine inverse 1. What is sine inverse 1? You know, pi by 2. Minus lower limit 0, तो ये 0 होगी. आप यहाँ पे 0 रखेंगे तो sine inverse 0 is 0. So what we are getting here finally? 3 by 4 into 8 pi by 2. Fine. So over here, this 4 2's are here, it will get cancelled. So you are just getting from this 3 pi, and therefore area equals to 4 times 3 pi. So you have 12 pi. That's what you had expected, you were knowing because of this formula pi AB. This is the area of ellipse, area of the ellipse that you know. Right, we did it by integration here, remember. Okay, now fifth is just a copy of this question. You can write area directly. Try to solve 6, 7 onwards. Let's see. Try yourself. You will realize whether you can do or not. Not a big task. If you understood this much and if you can draw the rough diagrams, I'm sure you can do it. Try it. If you can do it, fine. Otherwise, I'll send. Don't worry.